Hi, my name is Lee Gazena, and I just popped in here to say hello, and show my face because the rest of the recording is going to be audio, and I just wanted you really see me and feel me. And so I created this recording just to make our RV process waiting a little bit easier. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Hello, my name is Lee Gazena. And I'm one of those people who got some currencies and is waiting for RV to happen. And I haven't, comparing to other people, I haven't been waiting for that long. First currency I bought just about less than 2 years ago. Even though information I had for a little longer, but I got myself involved around 2 years ago. And it has been really interesting to this all the waiting period, because I remember when I was first buying it, I still I was listening to Mark Z and listening to other people, and even then it's gonna come any minute, it's gonna happen soon. And I remember when I was buying my first currency, I was thinking, oh, am I gonna be on time? Is it gonna come like do I have enough time to actually receive it and then go and exchange it? And now we are here 2 years later, and it's still the same thing. We still think it's just around the corner, even though events have progressed. Everything is kind of falling into places, but I am still in the same place where I was 2 years ago, in the sense of energies. And it doesn't really matter if events are happening. In a sense, it matters. Of course, it matters. The events are happening and things are moving along. But within ourselves, it actually doesn't matter, because we are still stuck into this energy of waiting, of something to happen. And my business and my life actually started to suffer after I bought my first currencies. Not because it's great, it was bad for me, but because I allowed myself to kind of let go of and stop creating life. And so I was just sitting there writing my goals and things I want to do, and every time constantly creeps in this thought, do I need to actually do this? Like, RV is in like 2 days, and am I gonna do it after that? And then those 2 days come, and I actually haven't done the thing I wanted to do, and I still haven't got the money from RV. So this is actually how we destroy our life, being in a waiting mode. And I'm not saying stop waiting or stop or sell your currency or stop doing or this is all lie. It's actually not that. It's just because this is like event that we know eventually it's gonna happen. We just don't know when it's gonna happen. But it shouldn't stop creating our lives. It shouldn't stop. We shouldn't stop living. We shouldn't stop looking for a job. Because I have one acquaintance. I can't never pronounce properly, and I remember talking to her a couple months ago, and at the time she was unemployed, and she was a job prospect coming up in the next few weeks from that moment we were talking about, and she really didn't want to go there, and so she hoped that RV gonna happen before that, so she didn't have to go to work. So I'm not really sure how the situation ended, but this is what we do. We kind of start creating a life, but because we think the RV is gonna is just around the corner, we actually never realized those dreams and goals that we were supposed to create while we wait for this to happen. And with this recording, this is not gonna be for everyone, and because I work with energy transformation tools. I work with something called light language. If you want, you can Google it, and I have examples on my other YouTube channels as well. So this might be your first. If you are adventurous enough and open-minded enough, you can see and how it works. So basically, what my intention with this recording is to actually start clearing energies around where we stopped creating our lives. Because honestly, I am tired of putting my life on hold because something is going to happen sometime in the future. And because I still need to pay my bills right here, I still want to eat good food right here, right now. I still want to buy new clothes right here, right now. I still want to fill my car with the petrol or gas right here, right now. But RV is not here and it's not right now. So we can't realize that because, for example, I was listening to Mark Z last night again and other people I follow on YouTube, and I see how they're all excited. I see how they know some things that I don't know, and I feel it. I know, and I know that they are not lying because they're the same situation I am in this waiting. It's just they have more information. It's just because I was just sitting here writing my goals, and I thought, well, if I'm not gonna do it when the RV comes, what's the point of me doing it now? But what if RV comes in a month or 2 or 6 months or 2 years? I'm tired of living like this, like I have started to create after RV. And I have done these, we have a small group of currency holders within my friends. So we occasionally do these clearing events where we actually clear these things. And it doesn't mean I'm gonna clear RV and it's not gonna happen. It's just to remove the energy, and it makes the waiting period easier. It allows you to actually free up energy, so you don't actually use your all energy waiting for the RV to happen. But it's like you know that you're gonna go on holiday in a month's time. You don't obsess it with it every day. You know you're gonna do it. You already probably have a ticket or something, but you don't obsess it every day. You still carry on with your day-to-day life. You still create stuff. You still go to job interviews. You still create projects. You still do all these things. And so that's the point, just to make this process so much easier. So RV doesn't actually ruin your life right now, but it actually supports your life right now. And because for another thing I have for me is I really want to work on my projects. And so I was sitting and creating the projects and like on the paper and in my head, gathering information and so on. And one of the things I do is I work with questions, like question method, when you ask questions and allow them to create your life. And one question I asked a couple months ago is like, what can I do right now to actually start working on my projects? Like, I don't have money. I actually don't have any money to put into the project itself, but I'm sure there are some resources that I could do. And so what started to happen is like things start to open up. And this is how question method works. We ask one question like a mantra, like for example, What can I do right now to work on my project? What can I do right now to work on my project? And once you start to kind of say it out loud or quietly to yourself, or even write down on the paper, your gears in your brain and energy, your energy starts to work itself and start to look for the solutions. And universe steps in and helps you. And so what happened is because we all have our local funding opportunities, and opened up one organization opened up a option to submit your proposal and get a grant money for the project. So basically, I actually, on a smaller scale, but I already started to work on my project. I started to plan it. I found because we need to do a build. We need to build something for our project. So we actually are now researching and looking for the people who can actually build it. And we are, in the next week or so, we're gonna submit proposal to actually start building on a smaller scale. So basically, this is my project that I originally wrote, but on a smaller scale. Then I started to work on another project where which again is a smaller project, and not a smaller project. It's like big project on a smaller scale, but something that I can start and do right now using my current resources. And with that, you actually are showing the universe that this is what you want. And I do believe that this kind of attitude is helping, again, to whoever is deciding whether we are capable or worthy enough to actually do the project. And I know that lots of you are at the moment ill and physically are not capable of doing that. But there are still many of you who you can do that. And I'm mainly talking to those people because I know how hard it is when you are ill and are not capable of doing stuff. So you probably have some other things that you need to work on. Like, for example, a couple weeks ago, I started to read book by Catherine Ponder, Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. And that book is absolutely brilliant. She used to be a minister in the 60s, 70s, in, I think it might have been in Texas somewhere. I can't remember now. And she wrote this amazing book, where she actually quotes Bible verses, and she talks about where Bible actually is about prosperity, not about the poverty. And she gives the tools and the information that is absolutely brilliant, that you can use right now, right here, to actually improve your financial situation right now and right here. And what it actually is gonna do, for example, we're gonna receive a lot of money. We're gonna receive so much money we probably even haven't dreamed about. And from energetical and even psychological point of view, if we are not ready emotionally to have that kind of money, we might feel really uncomfortable and not gonna know what to do with it. So this is a wonderful time to actually start preparing yourself emotionally, energetically, physically, to actually receive that kind of money when it comes. Because I'm sure you all heard when lottery winners are receiving large amounts of money, and they're not ready emotionally, energetically, and whatever, and they are poor again within like 2 years. So and the same was when I read the stories of people who earned first million. They usually squandered the first million, and from that they actually learned the value of money and how it works and how it is to actually be comfortable in being with that kind of money. And Catherine Ponder, in one of the books, it wasn't in Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. I think I forgot the name of the other one. She said that delay is a time for growth. So every time the RV is delayed, it's opportunity for us to actually start to grow, start to learn new things, start to learn instead of just waiting and waiting. It's just start to learn about money, not just how to manage physically, but energetically as well. Because especially if we lived all our lives in this with a small container of money, and suddenly there's like a massive amount of money pouring into this little container, it can just blow up energetically. I mean, but it can be a shock. We just now think that we want a lot of money, but when it actually comes, because I had those moments when I received large sums of money, not like in millions, but it was pretty uncomfortable, and I think I spent it pretty quickly. Like, it was the money that I could have lived for a year comfortably. And I spent it, I think, in a month. Of course, I had the needs, obviously, but if I was smarter, it probably would lasted me for longer. And I don't regret it, but I know I could have learned something, and I've learned from that experience. And so this is a wonderful time for actually us to learn stuff about ourselves, how our attitudes towards money, attitudes towards lots of money, how to manage it, and we can start planning our. Is there anything else? Is there anything at the moment we can do to actually start our project? Because universe actually likes when you show how much you actually want it. And it's not enough just to have it in your head. You need to say it out loud, you need to write it down, you need to take first steps, like a research. I know that lots of people are already doing research for their medbed centers, and it's wonderful to see all these ideas. Because when I first started to plan my like a medbed health and wellness center, I only could find what I could find. And when people start to share their ideas, I start to see what other wonderful opportunities are there. And with this, we are actually already starting to create a new world. And so this is kind of my message to everyone, because it's make me sad when I go into chats and see people struggling with the current situation. And with this, I actually would like to give them some kind of tools to actually make their life even just a tad better. And you can go on my YouTube channel. I have some videos there with the tools you can actually use right now. They're completely free, so you can actually start to use them right now, and start from here. And I highly recommend to get Catherine Ponder's book, dynamic laws of prosperity. And if you don't have money to spend, because I actually looked on Amazon, it's ridiculous how much they charge for it. You can buy used one, like quite cheaply. But if you have access to internet and everything, there is a website called Internet Archives. I need to check exactly. Internet. Yeah, it's internet. I'm gonna put a link on a page, but it's basically Internet Archive, and its website is archive.org, and it's got like lots of free books. Not lots of free books. They have access to books for free. And if you type Catherine Ponder, most of her books, I think all of her books are on there, and you can actually read from a computer or phone or your tablet straight from the Internet Archives. And you can actually borrow it. There is a button on the top. When you create account, you can actually borrow for an hour and read it for an hour, and then if no one else requests, you can just renew it for another hour. That's a free source. And at the end, now I want to actually do the light language recording. It's just a recording of light language is like energy transformational method that clears and transforms the energies, and I use it in my personal life. I managed to change a lot in the last few years since I started using it, and I use it basically to transform those energies that doesn't allow us to move forward, or it keeps us stuck, or those things that are percolating in our subconscious mind that is actually doesn't allow us to move somewhere, to create stuff. And with this particular light language, I want to clear all those energies where we're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and then come disappointment, and then there's waiting again, then there is a disappointment. It's basically, it's almost like we are stuck in this loop of waiting and disappointment, waiting and disappointment, waiting and disappointment. And if you know something about personal development, that once you kind of get into this loop, or this like a wheel of emotional like not a roll, it's not a roller coaster, it's a wheel, so that goes round and round and round. You actually have to recreate it as soon as you get into this like a hamster wheel. Like hamster, when he gets into this wheel, he just goes round and round and round and round and round and round until he decided that he doesn't want to do it anymore, so he gets out of the wheel. But we don't know that we can get out of the wheel. We think that to get out of the wheel, RV has to happen. But RV can't happen until we are actually in this wheel of waiting and disappointment, waiting and disappointment, waiting and disappointment. And this is what I want to clear, this, that RV is still gonna happen. I just want it to have more ease. I want it to, that we get out of this wheel of waiting and disappointment and actually start creating life right now. What is it that we can do right now to actually create our life better? And RV, when the RV happens, is just like a cherry on the top. Instead of us just like struggling and creating more of the misery for ourselves. And what is the point? Why can't we actually enjoy this period of, and I know you're gonna have lots of excuses. I have this and I have that and I have, but if you focus on your misfortunes more and more, you create more and more misfortunes. And once you start to look for the solutions, you're gonna find more solutions. And I don't know if I have a video about living in a question, But one of the questions that before we get to the light language, one of the questions that I use is, and I'm actually gonna create like a simple web page on my website about this. I'm gonna share the tools there, so it's easier for you to find. But in this video, I'm just gonna explain it. That I use questions like, how does it get any better than this, and what else is possible? And these two questions come from an organization called Access Consciousness, who actually teaches lots of questions like this. And once you have like a situation, like for example, once you start just saying to yourself, how does it get any better than this, and what else is possible, and just count it like a mantra, and start to feel how the energy around the situation changes. And for me, these two questions have created miracles in my life. I got out of the situations that I didn't know how to get out of. I even once was stranded in an airport. I had a layover in London, and my next flight was cancelled, and they didn't have any other flight. So I basically was stuck in London with nothing, but with nothing elsewhere to go to. And so these questions actually create a solution for me to. So I had to go to Paris. So it's not that far, but it's still, for many of us, could create a lot of problems. To actually create a different solution. And back to the light language. A light language is basically this. It actually sounds. It has a sound. It sounds funny when you hear it first, but just bear with it and allow the energy to actually go around you, within you, and actually allow the energy to dissolve those things that doesn't allow you to actually create life right now, while we wait for RV, while RV is coming. And I really hope it's coming in 2 days. But this work is not going to be wasted, because it's going to actually help you as well. And if you are reluctant to do the light language, just maybe use the tools that I mentioned earlier, and come back to light language when you feel ready, or if you feel ever ready. And what I always do with my clients with a light language, it's going to be like a 5 to 10 minutes long, like a transmission. And I usually then cut it out, just that part, and make it into longer one. So you can actually just download, and link is going to be on the page as well. You can download it and listen to wherever you can, wherever you want. And just allow, and the more you listen, the more energies it transforms and changes. And it starts to create something new. It opens the space to create something more. And with that, I usually create 2 recordings. One is a light language recording. It's a clean light language recording, and another one is subliminal recording. It's basically I do this, take the same light language recording, and I lower the frequency of it to, I think it's 17,000 hertz or megahertz. I can't remember which exactly. Is it hertz or megahertz? But it's 17,500, I think. And it basically goes directly to your subconscious mind, and it's almost like it overrides your mind and goes directly to subconscious mind. So your mind actually, if it wants to resist, it actually can't, because our lives are created through subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is only like a front room for your life, and all the files and everything just is stored at the back where all the that's your subconscious mind. And subliminal audio usually has like a relaxing music on top, or relaxing music on top, or nature sounds, because when I lower the hertzes on the recording, you can't actually hear it. So it's nicer to put like a nice music on top, to so you don't have to listen to the silent audio file. And you're gonna have a link at the bottom to download separate light language recording and subliminal. So let's get to the that. And how it usually happens, when I just recommend people to lay down or sit somewhere comfortably, close your eyes, and allow the energies and sounds to kind of wash over you, and just take a deep breath a few times. But when you listen to longer one, you can actually just put it while you wash dishes or doing stuff around the house, or listen in a car. You don't have to, it's not required you to close your eyes and just listen it that way. And subliminal audio is a good thing to listen as well when other people are around and you don't want them to know what you're doing, because light language itself sounds weird and other people will think you're weird, even though they probably already think you're weird. I know a lot of you are, unlike me, are stuck into this waiting process because we don't want to miss it. We think that if we start living our life, enjoying and creating, we're gonna get so busy with it that we actually gonna miss it. So I'm gonna put in the light language recording as well the energies that where we create our life, we enjoy our life, but when the RV comes, the message is so clear and the message is so like right into our face that we can't miss it. And you know that there are many steps that you can put in place to actually really not to miss it. Like, for example, what I do, I sign up for multiple websites. Like, for them, the ones I sign up for is Dinari Cups, Big Call Universe, that's Bruce's thing, and I think Seeds of Wisdom, and then there are multiple chats where I am, where I'm not into actually chats where people chat, because what I noticed when you are in those chats, you spend a lot of time and energy into the chat, and this is like playing. This is actually what stops us creating a. Because I noticed that there was a moment when I'm actually was constantly checking a chat. What's new? What's new? What's new? What's new? What's new? And the time goes by, and I realized that I have used so much time and energy checking what's in the chat, when I'm actually could work on my business, work with my clients, create my life, find a job, go to the job. And so a lot of energy goes into these chats. So I actually started to like stop following them, and I started only follow those channels when they just post news, like Holly's channel, where there is no chatting going on. What others? Oh, there are some other ones I follow, and it's actually created much more space for me to focus on life I want to create right now while I wait for RV. And so, because when RV comes, the RV is supposed to exponentialize what we have at the moment. Not that it's gonna be like falling off the cliff and suddenly are in different reality. Okay, so let's get to the light language now. Okay, if you find a spot to sit somewhere comfortably, just close your eyes and just enjoy the process. Nahamaha samahama voshavova namava savieta. Lehena maharahana shashashena manava shanehata vashata pesata. Lehe mahana mahasana maharahaveda vadvashata. Semyerahamana manava savyashata mahata shana manavas. Lehirahana hana hasena manava sasyeta. Eriye mahana mahasana mashatavena manashata shota. Lehirahana maharahanda sasana manava sasyeta. Lena maharahana shashataveta. Lehina maharahana shashavat. Lehiya maharahutovasat. Lehina mahana masasa savyeta. Lehirahamahana sheshana maharavasa vasyeta. Semyahana maharahana shashyet. Nemyaharahana manavasasyena manohatavasat. Lehirahana mahasana manavasasyesatavasat. Lehina maharahana shatavyena mahana manavasasyeta. Eriahana mahasana manavasamyahatavashata. Lehirahamahana shashwahanavas. Lehirahamana masavasena manavasasyeta. Yahana maharaham masasyevata mashatasheta. Ayamahana masana marahana masavasyeta. Lehina mahuavashanuhat. Semyaharaham hana masavat. Namaharahana shashot. Lehina maharaham hatasenata. Eriahana maharahama navasasasyeta manashatavas. Lehina maharahana masasasyena manashatasyeta. Lehina mahutavashona mahanavavesata. Heyahana mahasasyena manavasavesata. Semyaharahona manovashashota. Nemyaharahana mahasavasesatavasat. Lehina maharahana shashena manavashamyesata. Leya mahahasasyehatavasata. Yahana maharahana shashashevata maharaveda pasana manashata. Lehina maharahana shashata myehatavashana mahatavasata. Lehina maharahana masasa shavyasata mahasanehata. Semyahamahavasata shona manovasaveta. Eriahana maharahama navasavasyevata pashata. Lehina maharahama masasaveta patasatavata. Nemyahana masashaveta pavahatavata. Lahana mahana vashera hamahavaseta. Lehina maharahashena manavasaseta. Eriya mahana masana manavasaseta vashota. Nemia Harahana Manava Savieta Pashenam. Elehena Mia Harahana Manava Savieta. Lehena Maharahashan. Lehirahana Mashana Manasha Tehnesa Tahod. Eya Hamahama Sasema Hamav. Lehena Masena Manasha Taviet. Ledirhanam Hassan Mahat. Lehena Maharahan Deshitavi. Lehena Maharahashena Manava Shashet. Nemia Harahana Manava Sasena Manava Saseta. Lahana Manava Sasena Manashata Wasata. Eriahana Maharahana Manava Sasena Manashata. Lehena Manahata Berahana Mashita Veta. Lehena Maharahana Shashaveta Pasana Manava Saseta. Lehena Mahana Manashata Mehata Toshana Wasata. Nemia Harhamana Mahasaveta Padamana Masata Seta. Lehena Maharaham Masaseva Namashata Veshata Pasata. Lehena Maharahamana Vashata Veshata Pasana Vehata. Lehena Manahan Nashashena Manava Shaheta. Nemihana Masavasemana Mahatavasat. Lehena Mahana Masena Manava Saseta. Lehena Manahatashun. Lana Masena Manavas. Nemihana Mashata Vesat. Lehena Maharahamana Mehatavashana Mehatavasat. Lehena Maharahana Sasavehata Pasana Meshat. Emihana Maharahana Manava Savesa Mahashata Shena Manahata Vesat. Lehena Meharahana Manava Samehat. Lehena Maharahana Mashena Manava Shapirahan. Lehena Maharahana Shata Vesata. Lehena Mahara Manava Saveta. Nemiharahana Masata Vesata. Lehena Maharahana Masavasena. Lehena Mahana Masana Manashata Vesata. Nemiharahana Maneva Sashena Nanoshata Vasata. Yahana Maharahasana Manava Savesata Poshana Mohta. Lehena Maharahana Masavisena Manoshata Vasata. Eriahana Maharahana Shashena Manashata Vesana Mahata Vesata. Nemiahana Mahana Masasasesata Hota. Nemiahana Moshata Vasata Vahata. Okay, you can open your eyes now. So this was a light language. And if you really, really want to make this process of waiting so much easier, I just recommend you listen to the light language recordings. And if you have any comments, please, you can write to me. I'm gonna leave my email address at the bottom. And I just wish you all the best, and I wish you so you could get at least maybe even just a little bit of ease with this process, or if you wish a lot of ease, and please stop waiting and start creating your life. And I hope to see you soon on the other side when we all received all our RV money. Bye bye.